your woman is a reflection of your leadership as a man. So if she's cheating on you, that's a reflection on you, my guy. About a month ago, I posted a video of this girl working out at the gym. She tried to talk to this dude, and this dude gave her the cold shoulder. I'm gonna play it for y'all real quick, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you what I thought about it.
Hi.
Huh?
I was just saying hi.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
Honestly, I'm just trying to work out.
Okay.
Sound like some gay shit to me.
I think men should never reject women, ever. And the reason I think men should never reject women is because I think men are built to be rejected. Like it makes us stronger when we're rejected. Like we have to overcome things to become stronger men. But when you reject women, it hurts women. It doesn't affect women the same way. Rejection doesn't affect women the same way that it affects men. And so I think men should never reject women. Now, look, you get a chick's number, even if you got a situation, you can get a chick's number. You can tell her, hey, you know what? I'll hit you up. And then if you never use the number, it is what it is. A lot of times people don't use numbers anyway. But, if you're single, you might use that number. You never know. You might not. You're not obligated, but I just don't think that you should reject women because women are not built for rejection. That's my personal take. What do y'all think?
Jamie, I'm gonna let you go, Jamie, and I'll follow you up.
Yeah, well, just to kind of piggyback exactly off of what you said, Kay, it's like I kind of don't care that she got rejected because she put herself in position like a man to be rejected. Why is she hollering at a dude and why are you hollering at people in the gym? Unless he gave you irrefutable, specific eyes and interests and this and that, which if he's doing that and not making the move anyway, then it's a no for me. But I'm one of those people who don't think women should be pursuing men. You can, when you flipped your hair and did that little stretch, maybe give him a little nod and he doesn't proceed to anything, leave it alone, baby girl. You put yourself in that position. Not only that, but if that was my man, please tell these hoes, I'm just working out. I'm not here to coddle your feelings, give you fake numbers, or baby you through rejection. Because originally she put herself in the space for that level of rejection. And lastly, we're tender, but we're not that tender. She'll be all right. Like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's my take.
I get that too. I don't know if I can even look at it from the point of view of how she's gonna react to it or how women should react to it. I'm kind of stuck on, a man rejecting a woman. There's a certain scenario. I'm married. Like I'm cool. I got married under the impression that I'm gonna be with this woman for the rest of my life. I shouldn't have got married if I didn't want that, right? So I can understand in that case. There's a single man at the gym working out, and a young lady attempts to talk to him. There is absolutely no scenario where he should be turning that down. Not in a million years, not in 1 year, not in 30 seconds, never, ever. And so my concern is what part of a man turns down a woman who is, like you said, Jamie, like even if she's given the signals, there should be an immediate, like he should be hopping on like a I can't even think of the word, like the aggressiveness should be front and center. And I saw none of that. And I'm concerned because I think this might be a trend of young men. Like, yeah, you can work out. Nobody's going to stop your workout. You should actually be working out harder to show her what you got. Like that's what you're going to do to work out, right? Like at that stage.
Yeah, I think it's
man, because that's insane.
Yeah, I just think it adds to the softening of men and the hardening of women. I just think it does. Like at the end of the day, like look, I respect it if you married, you don't want to take a woman's number. Okay, me personally, I still think men, regardless, should still accept the numbers. If you don't use it, you don't use it. It is what it is. But
No,
for me, well, I think
I
I
would
think
kick
that's where
my husband.
trust comes from. I think that's where trust comes from. If you're
He
in a
don't. Y'all do not.
relationship if you're in a
Sorry.
relationship, you should trust the other person. You should trust the other person. I mean, that's what I'm. That's what. Hey, that's where I'm coming from. But hey, you know what? To each his own. I'm not gonna die on the hill. I'm just saying. Hey, I just think that's where you should trust the person. And the trust person should come home and say, "Hey, babe, check this out. This girl hit me up. She gave me her number. Here it is, right here. I'm finna toss it in the trash. I ain't really, we ain't used it. I just thought it was a cool thing to do. She had enough gravitas to come and approach me. So I took it. I ain't gonna break this young lady down, hurt her feelings, turn her into a man, turn her hard and cold like a lot of these women. I think we are continuing the cycle of hardening women when men are soft and women are hard. And at the end of the day, I don't agree with it. I think we need to keep women soft. I don't think women should be going through the trauma of rejection after rejection after rejection. Because even when you give that little, oh, it's my eyes, it's my shoulder, da da da, that's still rejection. Even that dude still ain't gonna look. He's still gonna be like, oh, what are you looking at me like that for? Because he's a soft ass bitch. At the end of the day, I just think men need to be harder. Hey, you know what? Men need to be calmer. Hey, you know what? Check this out, baby. Here, let me get that number. I'll take it from you. And then if you use it, you use it. If you don't, you don't. If you're in a relationship, it's probably best that you don't use it unless you're in that type of relationship with a woman. But if you're not, it's probably best you don't use it. You toss it away. You give it to one of your homeboys, something like that. But I don't think you should be rejecting women. I just don't.
KJ, can you see me struggling over here?
I see the
Keep going.
struggle.
Go ahead,
The
Amy.
struggle is so real right
It's
now because
real.
what? Like WTF, okay? And I think highly of you, Kay, so let's talk about this. First of all, if you are in a relationship and you're a man, if you're on a diet, what we going to the bakery for? You just gonna sit up there and smell cookies and chocolate chips and whatever just so the people at the bakery could be like, well, at least we got customers? I would expect my man to no thank you because he could take the number and do this and give the broad hope. But then what happens when we're at the gym? She's at the gym and now he's working me out. Ain't no eyes, ain't no competition, ain't no discussion, ain't no cracks and no open doors. Don't clown me like that in public or call yourself a single man. If you feel like you need to be Captain Save a Hoe for every chick that thinks she's bold. We're not doing that over here. For me, I don't like it. It's not about trust. Number two, if y'all want to be harder for us, then provide and marry us, not give your number in the gym. That's not what's going to change the trajectory of society. It's going to be men courting with intention, knowing who they are, having the means to support a family, and making the move.
Right.
Not a number at the gym. We don't
Right.
need
I
that
think
to stay soft.
but
No.
before men can get to the big step of marrying you or courting you or dating with intention and all that, you have to take small steps. You got to crawl before you walk. And if men and if men
Therapy,
and if men are too soft,
healing,
if men
a
are too
job,
soft, if men are too
vacation.
soft that they act like bitches when women approach them, then how are they ever going to be a man for you? Like, how is
First
a
of
man
all,
ever gonna be a dude for you if this nigga acting like a bitch the whole time when women approach him?
let me tell you something. I like it because men should be more selective because the way you talking is actually part of the reason why stuff is out of hand.
No, it's actually the
Be
opposite.
selective, homeboy.
It's
If
the
you out
opposite.
here every number, every chick, Latin, white, black, curly's, tall, if you all over the place, I'm not interested. I don't think that's cute. But if you come to me and you see something in me, and you know, if you're not going for every single thing that you see and get just to appease the situation in any way, when you come over here and you're intentional, that means something to me. There's more power in that. That's where the baby step lies, not in some random broad at the gym.
Now
I
see,
really
now
want
see,
more
yeah,
for
but
us.
what you were talking about was different. You were saying like, oh, be intentional. Oh, be selective. Well, yeah, you can be selective on the women that you approach. Absolutely. But just because a woman approaches you doesn't mean that you have to go out and date her or follow her or any of those things. It just means that, hey, you can have a nice interaction with her. Hey, you know what? Yeah, go ahead, slide me that. I'll take that. Whatever, whatever. It is what it is. But you can still be a gentleman. You don't have to use it. You just have to trade. Like, this is the difference between men and women. Men have to train themselves to be men. Like, this is this it doesn't come natural for a lot of men. Men start, and especially if you don't have a man to teach you how to be a man, it doesn't come natural. You have to train yourself. That's why a bunch of these niggas running around here, not walking on the wrong side of the street, all of this shit, because they don't take the baby steps. They go, oh, well, I don't need to walk on that side of the street. It's not about the woman, it's about you. It's about you training yourself to be ready at all times. But this is the difference between men and women. Now, as far as a woman telling a man, oh, I don't want you doing this, or I don't want you doing that. Well, that's a
I
woman
don't even
in her,
want to have
that's
to
a
tell
woman in
him.
her masculine.
I gotta
That's a
tell you
woman in
that.
her masculine. All
I
right.
don't want to tell a man that.
If
Don't get a
if a
number. We're
woman
together.
if a woman is in her masculine, then that's what's going to happen. At the end of the day, you shouldn't be concerned. You should be trusting your man and saying, "Hey, I trust my man. I know that even if a girl gives him his number, he ain't gonna use it. He ain't gonna do nothing with it. And if she's at the gym with you, he ain't gonna be paying this girl no attention anyway, because that girl gonna see you and be like, hey, that must be his woman. And it is
I
what it
don't know why
is.
you think that that's how this works, but that's not how a woman's mind works at all. And it
Well,
has nothing to do with
why is it?
demanding and whatever. I hope I would never have to tell my man not to go out and get numbers. I shouldn't even have. That goes without being said.
If a woman approaches you, that's not going out and getting numbers. That's her
Yeah,
giving
but
her.
Kay,
That's her
I,
giving
I
her
I
your
would
number.
say, I
Go
would
ahead,
say
Kay.
that as a married man, taking a woman's number without the intention of using it, a woman's not gonna understand that. There's I mean we know there's a difference between how men think and how women think. A woman's not gonna think under the way you're approaching it. She's not gonna approach it that way, and you're not gonna convince her to approach it that way. So you're gonna just be in a complete boondoggle because you're trying to convince her to understand your mindset when she is coming from her own mindset. So now you're putting yourself in like an unnecessary like discussion, debate, argument, whatever you want to call it, but it's completely unnecessary because she doesn't understand or approach it that way. So you're what you're saying, I get, I understand it, but she's not going to, no matter how many times you say it or how logical it sounds, she's never going to get that. So you
Well,
put yourself in just a unnecessary debate for no reason.
Well, I disagree. I disagree, and I think yes. Will some women not get it? Yeah, I think so. But I think there are women who do get it,
I
and
think that that's the exception. You're going to have exceptions to the rule that get it, but the rule is going to be nah. I don't get that. So
right.
you're
But I also think it also starts with the leadership. I think if that's how you lead from the beginning, then I think women will understand. Okay, this is how this dude leads from the rip. Now, if you tell your woman, hey, I ain't gonna take no numbers, I ain't gonna do none of this or none of that. Well, then yeah, you need to stick to what you tell a person. But I think if you start out the relationship and even before you get in the relationship, you tell people, hey, this is how I operate, this is how I move, then you're more likely to get a woman to understand. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
that's not how this works. I'm a woman. No, it. I don't know a woman who's like, yeah, yeah. I don't know not one who's just like, yeah, he does that sometimes. A lot of chicks. I dated the fine man, the man on campus, the tall dudes, the muscles, the this, the that. That's not how this works. First of all, chicks is petty. So she gets the number at the gym, then see y'all holding hands in the ice cream shop. She gonna walk up, hey, remember me? Yeah, and you opening the door for too much. Not only that, the energetic ties to not calling the girl, then seeing her in the gym again. And I've had dudes kind of not want to go to the same space. They don't want to be bothered. Leadership was what homeboy did. I'm just here to work out.
I don't know about that much.
That's my opinion.
Unless he's married.
It's my opinion. You know?
Nah, that wasn't leadership.
That sounded more lenient.
What if you don't like her? Why y'all wasting your time and energy? Do you want the girl? If you wanted her, you would have went for it, right?
At the end of the day, leadership is being able to tell the person that you're with, this is how I move. That's leadership. All right. It ain't about telling the girl at the gym, oh no, I don't want your number. Get away from me. No,
it could be like, I'm good.
All right.
You good. You know what you're trading numbers for. The second you open that, regardless, it's energetic. It's small, but the little things become the big things.
You know how many numbers I got that I never used?
It doesn't matter. That's not the point.
Millions.
But kid, that's a completely, we all have of course, but there's scenarios, like your scenario is going to drive it. Homeboy didn't sound like he was married. He sounded like he just was like, I'm here to work out. I want to work out.
Yeah, that's what he sounded like. That's what he sounded like. He sounded like he was gay.
But he might have been. He might have been gay.
And that could be. He could be straight gay, which, would answer a lot of questions for me.
It would answer a lot. All right.
So let me ask y'all on the flip side.
Go ahead.
I'm sure y'all date good-looking women. I'm sure you're married to a good-looking woman. You want your girl out there like that? Can I just collect the numbers?
No.
Cool with that?
No,
are you cool with other men seeing you out, knowing that he just got my number 2 days ago? You feeling like a man?
No, because
whether I used it or not?
No, because men and women aren't the same.
I'm telling you it doesn't fly, and you're telling me I'm wrong. And
no,
now
I'm
you're telling me men and women aren't the same.
I'm telling you men and women aren't the same. There are things that men can do that women can't do.
No.
There are things that men can do that women can't. And there are things that women can do that men can't do.
Well, this isn't one of them.
No, that is absolutely one of them because women should reject men all the time because it makes men stronger. Rejecting women does not make women stronger. Rejecting women makes women more masculine.
If you're concerned
it makes women more dark. It makes women more cold. The more rejection they go through, every relationship that they fail, they hurt. It builds a bigger and bigger and bigger wall. For men, it's not that way.
Public service by collecting numbers. It's your duty. Is that what I'm getting at?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
I wish y'all would put some other duties on that list. I wish you'd put some other duties on that list.
I'm just saying, hey, there should be other duties on that list. I'm just saying that particular one, I think men should always take a number. And if you don't use it, you don't use it. It is what it is. All righty. Let's get on to this young lady, Carlee Russell.
Last Thursday, when Carlee Russell went missing in Hoover, Alabama, she was driving at night, called cops to say that she saw a toddler walking alongside the freeway. She pulled over, called her family to tell them the same story, and then she disappeared.
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there is a kid just walking by themselves. Oh, hold on. Where on 459 are you?
Cops showed up. There was no sign of Carlee. There was no sign of this kid. About 48 hours later, she shows up on foot at her parents' house, seemingly out of nowhere. She says that she was, in fact, kidnapped by a man with orange hair who snatched her from the woods, pulled her into a car with another woman that she says she did not see but heard. She claims that they held her captive for a couple days. They stripped her down. They took photos of her. They were feeding her snacks and whatnot, and that along the way, she was somehow able to escape and made her way home. The chief of police in his presser today said they have looked at her phone records, and through the help of federal law enforcement, they have found internet searches of hers that they say are very, very suspicious.
On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "You have to pay for an Amber Alert," was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th At 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted.
Is Carlee Russell another clout chaser trying to get famous, or is this woman a part of a huge epidemic of the internet? Turning people into mentally ill, deranged, young people. Um, what do you guys think? I think she's a clout chaser, just like Jesse Smollett, out here trying to get famous by telling people that she's been a black person has been somehow harmed and victimized by white people. But I don't know, maybe she's mentally ill or something like that. What y'all think?
Man, I think it's the latter. I think she is showing some forms of mental illness. For you to go to that elaborate of a scheme, and from what I understand, when I saw the story, her boyfriend had posted something, a couple of days later when she came home or whatever, had happened, and I'm not sure if he's in on it or she had fooled him as well. But to take it to that length to where you're talking to people who are loved ones, you're bringing family members into this, you're bringing the entire public into this. There's a special type of crazy that it takes to be able to pull some shit off like that. And she's definitely got that type of crazy in her. There's too much going on. There's too many, cameras out there. There's too much investigation. It's too easy to dispel a story like this nowadays. I mean, for you to think that you'd be able to get away with something like that, again, it's a special type of crazy. Because at what do you get from, let's say you're clout chasing. Like, she's not about to get anything from this. She's not about to get, followers. She's not about to get people to be like, oh, damn, she pulled off some elaborate scheme, BS, kidnapping. Now I want to see what her Facebook looks like. I want to see what her Instagram's looking like, right? Like, I think the only way she can go from here is OnlyFans. Now, if she does that, she might have a chance. So, I mean, if that's the route, OnlyFans might be popular.
OnlyFans for Carlee Russell, huh?
Carlee Russell
Damn.
OnlyFans might hit a new high. But if there's any other route she's going, she failed miserably.
Yeah. Jamie, what you think?
I haven't been thinking much about her at all. So let's start there. As soon as I saw the story, I don't know. I think not only am I allergic to BS in a particular way, but I kind of was just like, oh, and then kept scrolling. So nothing in me was like, what happened to this black woman? And are people using babies now? And nothing sent off my alarm. So a day later, when I saw the fugaziness, I actually muted her name. I don't want to hear think pieces on Carlee Russell. I don't care what she did. I don't care about her boyfriend's 40,000 new followers and whatever. I definitely do think, though, with the question posed, that there is a level of mental illness involved, which could probably be tied to clout, because it's doing what it needs to do. We're talking about her right now, right? Like, you can't go anywhere and you're not going to hear about her. Now, if she decides to start a YouTube and title it, "This is why I did what I did," she gonna get monetized. She gonna get, like, there's ways.
Yeah.
Why did you do this? Talk show. If she plays it right, there's ways. But I feel like we did this on our show. Did we talk about the boys that ran up in people's house and was just sitting around? I feel like that's a little bit of a mental illness / clout too. So there's definitely something about this generation and how things are going and what people think that they can gain from this level of stupidity that ties right into mental illness. Like, can you guys imagine? Like, we didn't grow up like this. Like, I definitely feel like social media and these antics and the stuff that goes on would have changed my childhood in a way where, dang, do parents even know how to get on top of this? Like, I don't know. It's a lot. So Maybe she's not getting what she needs at home. Maybe her boyfriend convinced her to do it. And the list goes on. But I would say it's clout chasing, marries, mental illness, / this generation. It's weird. You can't play like that. And I think she gonna learn today.
Okay. All right. Do you guys think that? Because I've seen a lot of black people, jumping on the bandwagon as soon as this first thing, as soon as it first was reported, they was like, oh my God, these white people out here chasing down black people and we need to protect black women and blah, 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 blah. And then 3 days later, they all had to walk it back. I mean, should black people like take a pause when we hear some shit happening to black people before we get to talking about being pro-black and all that? I mean, me personally, I'm always skeptical every time I hear something about a black person. I'm thinking, all right, what happened? What did they do? Let me get a little deeper into it before I start talking I'm pro-black and all the support I want to throw behind these people. But it seems like celebrities and people on the internet, they always got to be the first person to jump behind a black person who somehow has been victimized, only to find out a few days later that everything that glitter ain't gold. I
Yeah.
mean, do we need to put a pause on that? Do black people need to put a pause on their support for other black people until all the facts come out?
I mean that's a given. Not only I think that's in any story, but we're talking black culture. So specifically for us, we are quick to jump on a story before hearing everything. I mean, you mentioned it. Look at Jesse Smollett. He had all kind of celebrities backing him. He had the whole black culture behind him. Like, yeah, let's go out and get him, right? And I mean, we are so interested in being a victim that every opportunity that we have to be a victim, we jump on it. And instead of, we talked about this before. Instead of really um, stop taking us at like the lowest uh, expectation and start raising the bar, we're going to continue to do this because we don't set an expectation that we are better than that. And
Yeah.
even after Jesse Smollett, and I'm sure this young lady, it comes out that it's BS, you're going to have people still kind of, propping them up and giving them excuses about why they did it. And, oh, somebody's bringing them or holding them down. Like, we can't continue to make these excuses. We can't continue to, just as you mentioned, jump on the story prior to knowing all of the facts and acting like, the man, whoever it is, held us back, bringing us down, hunting us down. Like, take a second, figure out what the story is, especially when it sounds like some straight up bullshit where a toddler is walking down the side of the highway and one person pulls over.
600
You have a
yards.
lot of people.
600 yards, Kay. The toddler walked 600 yards.
You'd have somebody would have pulled up the whole highway and stopped cars from going down the highway with a toddler walking down the side of the highway.
Yeah.
Right. So like we gotta really put some stuff in perspective and think about these things before we jump behind these people and make these grand ideas about what's going on. But yeah, I agree. We've got to stop and pause and really look at the facts.
Yeah, I definitely agree with both of you. And that's why I started this story with sharing, I didn't feel it in my spirit. And that's what people are letting them take from you, is your ability to discern instantly via your intuition. You're supposed to be able to separate the wheat from the chaff, the BS from what's real. Also, even though I didn't take journalism in college, that has been what I've been doing since 2008. So I got my 10,000 hours. I would never comment on anything that I didn't have the facts on. But again, when we talk about this current climate, people are doing headlines and they're doing whatever they can for the clout, for the clicks, for the likes. And we've been trained that way. So now we're eating it up and we think we're talking about something. And I have to step back from my own people, like, meaning we all look alike in this country and we're all here, as whatever subdivision we are. And I'm like, I can't rock with you. Do you hear yourself? Like, why are we addicted to this perpetual state of injustice? I don't move like that. So these things that launch off don't send me into Black problems, but I'm not doing that because it doesn't come from a place of power. Now, you see that fine line that they throw in? Of course, Black women should be protected. People should, of course, there's all these things that are truth. But when you mix it in with the chaos of, and the cyclone of BS, like it reminds me kind of like what religion does. Like you got truth, there's truth to it. But when you put all this other stuff around it, it gets very cloudy for people. And the most important thing we all need to be thinking about in this day and age is waking up. These people, if you really want to talk about how you're getting played, it's that. It's not being abducted. It's not that Black women are protected. It's the fact that you let these people play with your minds. Wake up.
Yep.
Yeah. Just put a button on that one.
Well said.
Wake the fuck up.
Good morning. Let's go.
I had to find the camera right there.
You had to get Lawrence Fishburne out.
Right there. Wake the fuck up. All right. I feel you on that, Jamie. Black people need to wake the fuck up for sure. I stumbled across this YouTube video the other day. It's gone viral. And on this show we like to give advice. So I wanted to play this video and then really think about who this situation says more about. Does it say more about the wife or the husband?
We've been together for 5 years, and I found out that she's been cheating for the last 7 months. And so now what I want to do is I want to confront her and ask her if she's been cheating with me. I want her to be upfront with me. If she's not, marriage is over. That's it. I'm done. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What? Oh, don't worry about it. I was just doing something.
Oh, like the TikTok or something?
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so where were you 4 weeks ago?
4 weeks ago, when? That's like a vague question.
When you went on that, you said you were going to that place, that spot, that little food spot with Raven.
Oh, yeah. The White Bull. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raven. And then we went shopping. Why are you acting like that, though?
Okay.
I told you this.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of TikTok video this is.
Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, you were going to that spot out a couple miles out with Brianna, right?
2 weeks. Okay, so we went from 4 weeks to 3 weeks. So 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, yeah, we went to the spa. That Asian spa I was telling you about that I wanted to go to.
Okay.
It's like that 24-hour one.
That's enough.
What?
Why don't you just tell me who you're seeing?
I'm not seeing anyone. Why are you asking? That's a stupid question.
Who's Rick?
It's your brother.
I don't have a brother named Rick.
Or your cousin or whatever.
It's not my cousin.
Why are you asking these questions? These are weird questions.
Because you are cheating on me, and I was trying to see if you would come forward and tell me like a natural person. Okay, so those messages in your phone where you were saying, "Oh, I love you. Oh, this is the best I've ever had. Oh man, I feel sore."
Why are you going through my phone? Why would you be going through my phone, first of all, like that? Like
don't change the subject matter. Don't change the subject matter. What you trying to do?
You acting insecure.
Oh yeah.
Why are you going through my phone? There's no reason to do that.
Well, listen.
When you go through people's stuff, you find stuff you don't want to see.
Oh, so now you're gonna blame me for this then?
I'm just saying you didn't need to go through my phone. Like, why are you going through my phone? And why are you stop recording?
I don't have to stop recording.
Oh my gosh, you acting extra. Always been insecure.
You know what? We're done.
Done what?
Like, this marriage is over.
What are you talking about?
This is from our lawyers.
Why are you really?
Yeah, just
you gotta be petty like that. Why are you recording?
So you're gonna gaslight me because you want to step on the marriage. Five years in this marriage, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you wanna go fucking cheat.
I mean, you're always working all the time anyway, so.
Oh, so it's my fault.
I wasn't cheating. I wasn't cheating.
Oh, so he just slipped and fell onto his dick then, huh?
There's no, I didn't fall onto anything. What are you talking about? There's nothing that you saw. And like I said, you shouldn't be going through people's phone. Like, that's my privacy.
You know what?
That's my privacy. You pay for
Get
it,
out.
You know what?
Look at you. Where's the ring? Where's the $500?
We're in the house. Who has a ring in the house?
Where's the $5,000 ring? Where's the
Extra, like, stop.
You know what?
Jamie, give us your reaction. Kay, jump in there. Jamie's stuck. She's stuck.
She's speechless on that one.
There real quick.
Look, dude is being cheated on because he is soft. He is not a leader. He does not have any command of his relationship. He is the epitome of why she's cheating. And the funny thing is, like, I know a lot of these videos look kind of fake. Like, that one looked kind of real because she kept putting on her lipstick and her chapstick, and she was a little nervous and all of that. But, like, man, she's cheating on you because you're a weenie. And that's why. And it is your fault. It is his fault. I don't think she should be cheating. Look, I get it. She should just leave him. Be easier. But the fact that he's like coming into the situation and putting up the camera, posting it on social media, which is insane. Like, you just told the whole world, like, yeah, I'm a big old wing ding. Let me show the world real quick, right? Like, I don't understand that. But the way he went about it, like, was ultimately why she's doing it. Every part of his action, every part of his aura, every part of his being is somebody who will never be in a relationship that he's in charge of or that he's the leader of or anything like that. So yeah, 100% his fault, because like I'm kind of getting to where Jamie was, where I'm kind of speechless because it just doesn't make sense that he's putting himself into that position and putting himself out there for the world to see. That's insane.
Jamie, go ahead and jump in. Go ahead and jump in on that.
It was a lot. So what I'm guessing is he didn't get enough numbers at the gym when he was being approached. That's why he's so soft.
He didn't. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's turning down everything. Soft as hell. Soft as hell.
I had to give you that word on
that. I was gonna make that comment. So you got me first. You got me first. Because I was gonna come back to it. I was gonna bring it full circle. For sure.
Oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to live that one down. But yeah, he is soft. Not really the kind of man that a woman respects, clearly, right? And I guess because, y'all are men, I'm a woman, just coming from this side, she should have never married him. Like, let him be. So if she did it out of convenience, maybe he pays all the bills. Maybe he's just a soft place to land. He's always there. Whatever that was, that's what we need to stop doing. She shouldn't have did that. I want women and people to have enough clarity, because he's not. I've given up on him. He was never going to be able to look at her and deduce that she was out of his league simply for the fact that he don't got the testosterone with the 1-2. Like, I'm not feeling it. It just doesn't, so he chose somebody and he allowed it. She allowed it. It's just a mess. Of course she's cheating. She's getting dicked down by someone whose pheromones drive her wild. And that's not the man she married.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no, I that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah, look, public announcement. All you niggas out there recording your bras cheating, you're gay. Knock it off. It makes you look worse than it makes her look. I had to say that to the camera because I'm sick and tired of these niggas over here snitching on they broads, and they don't really understand that your woman is a reflection of your leadership as a man. So if she's cheating on you, that's a reflection on you, my guy. All right. I had to get that off my chest.
That's facts.
Second, he's a buster just because he had to even go and question her about it. Like, bro, if you feel like your woman's cheating, be out the door. What you need confirmation for? That's and I say this with all due respect, Jamie. That's women's shit. All right? That's
It
women's
is.
shit. All right? As a man, you don't need no confirmation. She's making you feel like you can't trust her. Deuces. She's not serving you. Deuces.
Yeah.
Don't. You don't need confirmation.
None.
All right?
That's how women should be too, though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when he was interrogating, I was like, damn, I've been here before. Why? I remember when I used to have to ask those kinds of questions. What is he doing?
Yeah.
Like, because even now, the woman I am, I would never ask. Once I know what I need to know, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
It's all good. You know, so
soon as you need to go through the phone, it's a wrap. Soon as you think I need to go through her phone, done. You already know. It's already, you already know what's going on. You don't need to go through her phone. You know exactly. If you don't know where your lady is, not like that you need to keep tabs on your woman, but as a leader, you should know what's going on at all times. You're in charge of your family. You need to know where your wife is. You need to know where your kids are. You need to know where the people who you are responsible for are at all times. And if you don't know that, and there's all these suspicious activities coming up, and you're a weenie, I mean, you can chalk that up immediately.
But that's what it's just what Jamie said. You know, this dude was out of his league, dating a woman who really settled for him. She didn't choose him; she settled for him. And when she settled for this man, she showed him why she settled for him. It's because he's not the type of dude who she wants to report to. She don't want to come to him and be like, "Oh, I need to report to him. I want to report to this man. I want this man to lead me and my family, and I want him to know where I'm at so that if anything happens, this nigga can come and get me."
He ain't coming to get nothing.
He ain't. Nope.
He gonna be out there with the phone filming. If you don't jump in,
no, she don't trust him. She don't trust him.
He felt,
and she don't respect.
Saw that one text. He had to feel like shit when he seen that text.
Oh yeah, had her sore. Okay, that's the one. That's the one. Oh, I'm sore. His goddamn heart jumped out his chest when he read that.
He threw up.
All his love and his emotions, all his dreams came crashing to the floor. Buster.
But that's why people gotta wake up, and that's what even for men, like wake up, like be for real. Yeah. Like if you wasted 5 years, my God, like you could have been spending that time doing something else to evolve and actually be what women need. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
He don't have it. It's not. Some men just don't got it. He's gonna waste 5 more years doing something else with some other chick in a similar situation. He's gonna go through the phone again and be like, "Damn, what happened?" That's just his aura. That's what he's presenting.
See, this is why you need to be taking my life coaching, because he need to change that. You can't. And I kind of have a question for you guys when you said that it's not naturally in a man, like he kind of has to be trained and this and that, which I understand to an extent. But when I think of it as a woman, you know how they're talking so much about be feminine and femininity, that it to me, it's not something you can teach like that. I think we're in personally, and you tell me where it's different. As a woman, we are born feminine. We're women. I think it's the way society and some of the other stuff around starts to try to tinker with things that start to take people out of their natural essence.
Right.
But that's what I feel for women. So what does that mean for men? Like basically, how did he get here? Was it just lack of leadership? Was he eating the wrong food? Was he not a jock in high school? Was he raised by his mama? Like, what are the ingredients to make a man who just don't naturally have what y'all have?
Well, yeah, I think it's probably a culmination of a lot of those things that you just named, or a combination of a lot of the things that you just named. As a man, you got to go through struggle, and you have to persevere in order to become the man that you are. Tough experiences and tough times create tough men. And so as a man, we are not born with the knowledge and experience of hardening, right? Like as a man, you have to become hard. Whereas a woman, you're already soft. And pretty much everybody is soft from the beginning. But women are soft. And as you become a lady, you develop more softness. You develop more ladylike features, more femininity. As a man, you have to be taught how to become hard, but even more so how to stay hard, because life will make you, as a man, especially in these modern times, life will make you soft. All the creature comforts that we have, it's not raining every day. It's not, you don't have to build a house. You don't got to build a fort. You ain't got to go out and catch food no more. So as a man, society makes you softer because you're not in your natural element. Our natural element is in caveman times.
Yeah, it looked like we lost him for a second, but I'll touch on that a little bit too, Jamie. I feel like what you're saying about women, they're nurturers. You're a nurturer, and you're born that way. You're born with the ability to be a nurturer, and it's in your nature to have that. And for men, to be able to get to that level of, like KB was saying, to have that be hard enough. Yeah, you got to go through some fire. You got to be hard end, right? And if you're not hard end, then you're just going to continue to be soft. And there are women who will, be a predator type and take advantage of that. And they'll like she knew what she was doing, and she got 5 good years of maybe a house, maybe some jewelry, whatever it was that she appreciated and liked. She could get all of that out of him for as long as she could, right? But for a man, there is what's that called when you go through and you gotta get tested to become, whatever that, I can't think
Rites
of
of
the word.
passage.
Well, yeah, rites of passage, right? There's rites of passage for men, and you've got to deal with some strife. You got to deal, like we talked about this before. Me and KB and Miles ran in the pack. We were wolves, like wolves growing up, and there was a nature about us together that if you didn't have that wolf in you, you couldn't make it. You would be left to the side. So that was a part of our rites of passage, each other creating better men out of us. And ultimately, we came out with the ability to lead. And if you don't have that, if you don't have those type of people around you, that type of environment, then yeah, you're not going to get that. It's not going to happen through just the nature of you. You got to be hardened, and it's got to be created.
Yeah, yeah. Steel
I
forges
like that.
steel.
Yeah.
Steel forges steel. And so if you're not around other men who have that steel in them, then chances are you're not going to develop it yourself. It's going to be really hard. You got to be around other men who are really, cold when it comes to their emotions, right? And when I say cold, I don't mean they don't have any, but they always know how to stay calm. They know how to control their emotions. They're not led by their emotions. They're able to think rationally. They're able to problem solve. They're not sensitive to what people say, but they respond to what people do, right? They just don't react, because reacting means you haven't thought about it. You just off instinct, right? And men who have been through the fire know, I'm not just going to react off instinct. I'm going to respond. I'm going to think this through, and then I'm going to address what happens. But if you're not around men who normally do that off of habit, and this is why I say, as a man, you have to build habits. You can't just do stuff and then think, oh, well, I'll just respond like this one day. No, no, no. It has to be something that's in your psyche, your subconscious, your second nature, that compels you to do these things when you don't even have to think about it. It's kind of like, dudes in the army, right? When they went and killed Bin Laden, them dudes was on autopilot,
Mm-hmm.
right? They didn't have to think about nothing. They see something, shoot something, kill something, right? One dude saw a bomber. He jumped on the bomber to protect the dudes behind him. He didn't even have to think about it. It was just like, oh, that's what I do, because he had done it in practice and drills in life over and over and over and over again, to where it was second nature. Like me, I don't even have to think to walk on the right side of the street. It's second nature for me. And so this is what I say, as men, you have to build that. It's called the hero's journey, right? Where it's like you have to go through being nothing to build yourself into something. Women, you guys have the opposite spectrum. Women, you guys are something from birth, and then you have to retain that something, right? It's okay, how do I become more feminine, more of a lady, more as what I'm already am? Whereas men, we start from nothing and have to build into something. So yeah, it's a little bit of a different life journey for men and women. But obviously, this young man or old man, I don't know how old this dude is, but obviously he didn't have strong dudes around him, because the niggas that I know, we wouldn't have put up with none of that punk
Yeah,
shit he doing.
none of that.
None of that.
Yeah,
He would have
and I
got
have to
tested a
admit,
long time ago.
you know, everything that you're saying makes sense. And I think it was good for you guys to both kind of like share that in a certain sense, because it makes so much sense. Like when I was younger, I definitely dated the gangsters. Like I needed somebody with some nuts about his, like I was,
Mhm.
and I couldn't, because my dad, he's strong because he's a military man, but he was more, my dad's refined. So seeing the wild nature, then there's a refinement I think that needs to happen when you talk about you can respond versus react.
Mhm.
But it's kind of messed up, because right now it is kind of challenging to really find men who
Yes.
function like that. And some of the, not all the time, but some of the side dishes that come with men like this is
Mhm.
kind of sometimes a level of arrogance, or because we can smell it as women, like the women coming left and right, and maybe he just doesn't even want to get married, or maybe he does and he finds somebody who's okay with him having all this on the side because of this and that. So it's like it's really challenging to find the balance of somebody who can lead and be a man and is cultivated like you're talking about, but also be reeled in and whole, so he's like trustworthy. And like, and I think that's where we're kind of struggling now, like
Yeah.
as women are becoming a little bit more harder, not because um yes, we have to retain what it was that we had, but we constantly have to not allow the negativity and the terrible things that have happened to affect us, like you were saying earlier, not to chip away, because everybody's in protection mode now. You
Yeah.
can't, the hearts that we have do not give over to men. You can have the testosterone, but that's why so many of us is like, why everybody got the same baby daddy? Why are women did it? Because these, do you see what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
math isn't mathing on both sides in totality, but it's like we're gonna normally have the propensity to be around those type of guys, but
Yeah.
we're the ones that are that, but also have the little bit of a reel it in, the refinement that makes it easy for us to just
Yeah.
melt like butter over the whole situation.
Yeah.
Nobody feels safe to do that right now.
Well, that's why I'm totally against, the hardening of women. That's why I'm totally against the hardening of women in any facet. I'm against it. But I hear what you're saying. And I think, we'll talk about it maybe in the next show, of like why it's so important to have that male figure as a woman that you trust and who can help you pick a mate. Because a lot of times, like you said, as a young woman, you'll see a man who gives you that protection feel, right?
Yeah,
Which is the
exactly.
gangster, right? The gangster. He gives you that feeling of protection. But as a woman, it's hard to decipher the type of protection of a man who reacts versus a man who responds. But if you you
Facts.
know if you go to your dad, or men like your dad who are in the service and who are trained on how to respond and not react, then those men can help guide you to say, okay, no, this is a man who reacts, but you want a man who responds, right? And your dad can help you vet men to say, okay, this is the type of man who, yeah, he's got that street smart, but he's also the type of man who I know will respond to any danger and make you feel safe, and not the type of man who just reacts to shit like a lot of gangsters do, where they get all emotional and in their feelings, which is not a masculine trait, and then they start reacting. But because they have the physical strength of a man, women see it and go, "Oh, okay, this is protection." But it's actually the wrong type of protection, because it's emotional protection in the body of a man. It's actually like a woman in the body of a man, which is not long term going to keep a woman satisfied, safe, and attracted to it.
But it sometimes it's that, right? And sometimes it is the man that he doesn't react and he gets the money and nobody messes with him and he calls the shots and it's a little bit more than just like, oh, he big with muscles. It's like, no, he's a boss. It's giving boss. So it's like that, but then, you know, there's these things, you know, missing. And I think, you know, the best thing a father can do is be the type of man, because I wouldn't have listened to my dad anyway. I wouldn't have listened. It sucks. But the thing that I do have is when I look at him now that my lens is, you know, matured, it's like, no, I know this is possible because I saw it day in, day out. I know what a real man is capable of because I have the example, you know, and now, so it's just weird. It's weird because it feels like, you know, we got to meet in the middle. It's like guys are going up to down, we're going down to up. And if we don't meet right where we need to, where it's good, it's like, it's a mess out here. I don't understand. God, why did you do this?
Yeah, it is a mess.
Yeah.
Okay, you got anything you want to chip in on this before we wrap this thing up?
No, I think we touched on everything. I mean, for you, Jamie, I would just say, like, you from what I've learned from you, you got a great head on your shoulder. You just gotta be patient. Somebody's gonna be out there like shit. Like, dudes gotta get right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
I wouldn't be.
Hey,
you gotta be patient, because if you don't be patient, you're gonna end up with something you don't want. And as a father of two young ladies, I'm hoping that I can have that same sort of impression on them, so that they are able to make sound decisions when they grow up as well. So
yeah. And look, Jamie, you got 2-3 men on this panel who will vet the fuck out of a nigga.
I'm sending them your way.
Yeah. So
I'll be like, oh, you want to go out? You need to
first date. First date. Bring them on.
I will.
First date, bring them on. God damn it.
Yeah.
Have his ass in there sweating.
I'm gonna hold you to it, because I need that. Like my dad, he looks around at these guys now. He's like, just ain't no man. I don't know what is going on. It's not. He's lost, but y'all know what's going on. So next time, I'm gonna be like, what's up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say nothing. I'm gonna just hand him over.
Yeah, bring him over. Bring him over. We'll vet him.
Yeah.
We'll vet him properly.
Yeah.
I'll ask all the questions you don't want to ask.
Or don't even know to sometimes.